powered by Moksha Media.
All of the mountains that we climb are different sizes. What we often do not realize is that some of them are there because of us. Throughout our earthly journeys, there are some mountains that we climb because we must prove our faith in God. However, keep in mind that as we toil up and down the sides of some of those mountains, we do so because we have acted in ways contrary to the word of the Lord. God has important assignments for each and every one of us. And when we deviate from His plan and dismiss the work that He has assigned to us, we introduce a brand new mountain into our lives. How true that is. How true that is. Hi everybody, Daymond here with Daymond and Company. Technically inclined, creatively and driven. I exist to inspire. I have yet another great message that I want to share with you all. You probably already saw some of the posts that I've been sharing with you on social media. There is another audiobook coming out through Omniversal Publishing, and it's this book, Metaphors of Faith, Words of a Praying Woman. So if you've been following me on social media, you know a simple systems engineering guide for success has recently come out in another format as an audiobook, available on audible.com and iTunes, and of course, it should not be unexpected. Of course, my mother's book would take the same path. So coming soon to audible.com and iTunes.com is Metaphors of Faith, Words of a Praying Woman, written by Mrs. Patsy Bazile. It's coming soon in audio format. So, over the years, I really hadn't talked a lot about this book because, those of you who know me, you know that I have a business called Moksha Media, and what I do with that business is I encourage people to promote themselves, build their brands. I help them with graphics, I help them with web design, I help them with taglines, I help them with, hashtags, and basically just I help them to shape up their business through marketing design, and web design and overall branding. So that's what I was doing with my mom as well. So, she recently passed, and that, in 2017. And so that means now that as her son, and as we had always agreed, I would take her book as far as I can possibly take it, and through the grace of God, whatever He says, the book will take flight and touch as many people as possible. So now, I have made a way to get that book out on audible.com and iTunes, and that is coming soon. And so I'm so glad to share that with you. And so now that my mom has gone on, and it's my duty to tell you a little bit about this book, I think I'm gonna put a different spin on it, and I'm gonna tell you what this book means for me. I'm gonna tell you what this book means for Daymond and Company. I'm gonna tell you what this book may mean for you, beyond just being a book of spiritual allegories and poems and narratives to really help you see your faith in a different way. Let me share a little bit of a different spin on that. In my social media post that I recently shared with y'all, you probably noticed I said this has been one of the most precious accomplishments that I can claim in life, and that I will probably be able to ever claim in life because of what it represents to me. This is not the first book that I published. It's actually the second, and the first book that I published was for a dear friend of mine who too has passed on, And I will share that at another time. But I remember when I published that first book, I remember thinking, oh my God, publishing is just such a it's just such a tedious job. I didn't think that I would ever do it again. And then I remember back in 2000, toward the end of 2014, my mom came to me and said, you know, I've just entered retirement, and there is something in the back of my mind that I want to accomplish, and I have all of these writings, and I need to do something with them because I've been writing them, and the message behind them, it's powerful, and I want to get that message out. It only took me about maybe 10 seconds to say, Mom, I think there is a way for you to get your message out, and I published a book. Why don't we think about publishing your book the same way that I published my friend's book through my own publishing company? Oh, by the way, that I don't promote, but the infrastructure is there already. The infrastructure. So remember how I talked to you with a simple systems engineering guide for success? Remember how I say plan for success? Remember how I say write your requirements for success? Remember how I say set up your infrastructure for success? It was already there, so that by the time my mom approached me with an opportunity, I was ready to go. And I was ready to help her walk in her light and help her to fulfill a purpose that she had in life, because it was an assignment that she was handed from God. That's how I see this book. That's how I see this book. And so when you read the words of this book, and if you watch this video, I have the feeling now that you'll probably interpret the book in a whole different way, actually in multiple ways, because you will not only be receiving the words of the book as lessons for how you can connect better with your faith, you will also see this book as an accomplishment, because one thing that I wanted to make sure my mom understood is that you're never too old. It's never too late to accomplish something. You just have to believe that you can. And then when you believe that you can, you have to connect with the right people to make it happen. It was a journey. It was a journey. And it was an experience that I feel very, very blessed, because I feel like the experience that I had with my mom before she passed is actually an experience that I don't think many people can say that they have with a parent. So I know sometimes you watch my social media stuff and you think, oh, life is just so great. Oh, he's an engineer. He does all this stuff. But I sometimes allude to it. None of that was easy. I basically grew up in a one-parent household, and it was a struggle. The reason why I'm so dedicated to excellence is because I never felt like there was really, there weren't a lot of people that I could depend on. So that means that my relationship with my mom strengthened, and as I grew and became stronger, it was all about me being strong, not only for myself, but also for my mom. And I have learned how to channel that to even help you as you watch my videos, because I know what it is to have to strive for a lot when sometimes you don't feel as if you have a very, very strong foundation to depend on. That's what this book represents for me. This is 200 pages of faith. This is 200 pages of work, countless hours that we put in, that we use to package the stories and to come up with a book cover design, and to make sure that we had all the promotional materials in place so that we could get the book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and online through multiple retail outlets, so that we could get it to you all so easily. None of that is trivial. And being in the business that I'm in with Moksha Media and Omniversal Publishing, you would not believe the stories that I hear from other authors who have tried the same thing and who are just very, very frustrated because they're frustrated with their publisher, they're frustrated with their graphic designer, they're frustrated with the people who package their book, they're frustrated with the feedback that they're getting back. And what this book represents to me is a path of success and inspiration and faith, so that my mother's words can go on and live on indefinitely after she has gone on to live with our Father. So that's what this book means to me. As I tell you about the announcement of it becoming an audiobook, I want you to look at this book as much more than that, because it truly is a source of inspiration to propel you for greatness and to help you become your best you. So if you have the book already, if you've read it already, thank you so much. I've gotten some very good reviews. I know some people who read the book at any sign of trouble or shakiness in their own faith, they have this book right there, right on their nightstand or in their nightstand, ready to pull out at the drop of a dime. You know, that's great, because that's what I like to hear. That's why my mom wrote this book. But now I want to put the book out there in another avenue on iTunes and through Audible, because you'll be able to download it and listen to, oh my God, I have this phenomenal narrator. Every time I listen to her voice, it's like I'm talking to my mom, and my mom is telling me, I'm so glad you chose her to read my book. Thank you, Braylee. Braylee is, oh my God, she's doing just a phenomenal job narrating the book. So yeah, I read a little excerpt at the beginning of this, but I'm not narrating this book. You don't want me to narrate it. I want you to hear somebody who is a professional reading these stories the way they were meant to be read. And so please, I ask you to support the book. If you already are, thank you so much. And just remember, everything that I do, everything that my mom has ever done, it's to inspire you. It's to live our purpose. Because my mom was spiritual, I'm very spiritual. I have conversations with God every day. I try to walk in my own light. But my goal is to help everybody do the same thing. We're all unique. We're all special. We all have special gifts to share. We all have special assignments to work in this life. And that's why my mom wrote this book, and that's why I'm here for you. Technically inclined, creatively driven, I exist to inspire. Visit me online at daymondco.com, but find out more about this book at metaphorsoffaith.com or omnipubhouse.com. That's OMNIPUBHOUSE.com. Love you.